It's an honor to participate in this lecture series, named after Theodore Roosevelt, who took over the presidency in 1901. He had a desire, I do believe, having read some books about Theodore Roosevelt, to hand down the sense of humanity to the next generation, you know what I mean? The sense of who we are, the air we breathe, the land that we share, our value system. He was big on that legacy that we're handing on to the next generation. And I think that's the one element, the one issue in this election cycle that drives me more than anything else. So you're looking at me and you're thinking, why would somebody be crazy enough to run for president of the United States? I know, I see it in your eyes. I see it in your faces. You know, I go around group to group and they look at me and they hear me out. And they typically say, you know, he sounds pretty sane. He appears to be normal. Why on earth would he be running for the presidency? Let me tell you why I'm running for the presidency. I'm running for the presidency as a father of 7 kids. I've got 3 girls who are on the campaign trail. A couple of them are communication experts. I wish they were here to kind of tell you about their own experiences. But you can go on YouTube and you can find out what the Huntsman 2012 girls or John 2012 girls are doing on the campaign trail. You see, they put up stuff on YouTube and they get 100, 200,000 hits on their stuff. I give a major speech on foreign policy, I get a couple hundred. The world isn't fair when it comes to political communication. So the reason I'm running is because of my concern about your generation, many of you in this audience, and the debt, this cancer called debt, which is metastasizing in this country, that's going to shipwreck your generation if we're not smart enough to do something about it. So when a nation gets so much debt, whether it's 60 or 70 or 80% of your GDP, the economists will tell you, you just don't grow anymore. And when a country just doesn't grow anymore, that then becomes a national security issue. That's just not a debt issue, that's a national security issue, because it impacts your overall level of competitiveness. So what are the 2 things that need to be done, in my opinion? And I don't want anybody leaving this wonderful old historic lecture hall without remembering the 2 things that I want to do when elected president. Number 1, I want to rebuild this nation's manufacturing muscle. You know what I mean? When I was born in 1960, we exported $3 for every $2 we imported. We own 36% of the world's GDP. Point number 2 that I want you all to walk out of here remembering. As I mentioned, I've lived overseas 4 times. I want to get our position right in the world. We have a little bit of the overhang from the Cold War era, you know what I mean, for those of you who have studied diplomatic history or foreign policy. Yes, ma'am.
Someone named you as a dark horse of the race. How do you view your position?
I'm an underdog. But you know what? Underdogs rise up and they succeed. It happens all the time in politics.